अरहंत सिद्ध सुर उपाध्याय साधु सर्व अर्थ के प्रकाशी मांगलिक उपकारी है। तिनको स्वरूप जानी रागते भई जो भक्ति काय को नमाए स्तुति को उच्चारी है। धन्य धन्य तुम्ही से काज सब आज भयो कर चोरी बारंबार वंदना हमारी है। मंगल कल्याण सुख ऐसो हम चाहते हो मेरी ऐसी दशा जैसी तुम धारी है। हो मेरी ऐसी दशा जैसी तुम धारी है। मोक्ष मार्गस्य नेतारं पेतारं कर्म भूभृतां ज्ञातारं विश्वतत्त्वानां वन्दे तद्गुणलब्धये। वन्दे तद्गुणलब्धये। So we'll continue with ninth chapter of Tattvat Sutra. And yesterday we were discussing violent meditation, four types of violent meditation. Today I send you some charts in Hindi that also you can refer. It becomes so simple when you refer to a chart because everything is given at a glance. Uh, English version of this chart was available in the previous book that I shared. Initially we were supposed to take from this book only, but then we switch over to this because nobody was understanding anything. So we again switch back to this Tatvarth Mani Pradeep. But this book from Pandit Jaichandji Chabra, which has been translated by students of Chennai only. So that book also I had shared. There you can find the English words for this Hindi chart. But I want to just go through this chart in Hindi. I'll just share 1 minute. So first I have to open that chart. So that chart I'm not able to share. One minute. Hmm. So now we are done with this. 1 minute. Okay. You could see on the screen, right? Hmm. So now you could see better in a better way, or I have to enlarge a bit.
Yeah, we need to enlarge it.
Yes, now is okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay, fine. So I'll just take it.
So, but it's cutting off some words from the sides.
Hmm. Yesterday it went so fine. Today there is some, I don't know where I'm doing mistake. Let me do it once again. This close this window. So shall I make you a host, Priyanka ji?
So for me, I can share it, but only on my phone, and I think on phones
Okay,
it
okay,
is.
fine, fine. So let me do it in 1 minute. It will take only 1 minute. Hmm. Hmm. I don't know.
So we can see the screen. It's fine.
Hmm. This toolbar is not like I'm not able to remove that. So
Yeah, it's okay. We can still see. I think we can read it.
you can read it now.
If you enlarge it, maybe just a little.
Okay. That is what I'm not able to do. Uh, I don't know what.
No, we can enlarge it ourselves. I could
Okay.
enlarge it. Yeah,
Acha,
you could
acha.
just scroll the paper page, sir.
Okay, okay,
It could be
okay.
done.
Okay, fine. Thank you. Hmm. So we are on to page number 383. Hmm. Yes, so here we are. So that chart that you can refer from your mobile. So Artha Dhyan and Rodra Dhyan, two meditations that we have done. Artha Dhyan is a painful meditation and Rodra Dhyan is a violent meditation. Okay. So Artha Dhyan prevails up to first to sixth stages of spiritual development, whereas the violent meditation is up to only fifth stage. Okay. So the monks don't have this violent meditation. Okay. Now, in the violent meditation that we were discussing yesterday, and still some discussions are left, you could see there are four divisions of violent meditation, and all these four names belong to the four sins. The fifth sin, that is adultery, that is not mentioned here. So why? Because He has taken violence, then falsehood he has taken, then theft also has been taken, and parigra, that is possession, has also been included in the 4 violent meditation. Only left over is adultery or unchastity, right? So why that has not been included? Because that has been included in the 4th painful meditation, that is nidan, So it's again a desire for sensual pleasure. So that has been included in that. So here only 4 are being shown here. Okay. So now we go for further discussions on this 4 violent kind of meditation. We can start from page number 383. Okay. So who can read? Darshit ji, you read.
Okay, Jai Jinendra.
Hmm.
The favorable and unfavorable associations that arise due to the fruition of karmas are themselves sins known as possessiveness, parigra. Rejoicing in favorable circumstances is also parigra, handi, rodra, dhyan. Among these two types of meditation, the painful meditation, arth dhyan, of the ignorant is considered the cause of rebirth in subhuman realm, Tiryanshgati, and violent meditation, Rodra Dhyan, is deemed the cause of birth in hellish realm. In the same way, when we are surrounded by circumstances that we do not desire, that appear unfavorable to us, and we think of how to eliminate them or escape from them. Even if we do not harm others directly, but merely think, it would be better if they died, or if they were in part due to an illness, and continuously dwell on it, or when we think, I have done such a good deed, so I should receive wealth, sons, or heaven as a result. In all these situations, do we realize that we are committing a great sin whose outcome is rebirth in subhuman realm? Because all of these are indeed forms of painful meditation. And did you know that subhuman does not merely refer to cows, buffaloes, dogs, or cats, but includes all types of insects, creatures of earth, water, fire, air, and even plants? And beyond that, Nigod is also a part of the subhuman realm, Tiryanshgati. To grieve over the separation from a person or object, to be disturbed and conflicted in the presence of a person, object, or situation, to be distressed by bodily pain, and to long for favorable circumstances in the future, all of these are sins, forms of meditation that can lead even to Nigod. Likewise, when we feel joy upon someone's destruction or misfortune, when we take delight in speaking falsehoods, when we rejoice after evading income tax or sales tax, or when we delight in accumulating possessions, do we ever pause to realize that this disposition, this behavior, is violent meditation which is a cause for hellish realm? Should I continue?
Yeah.
Okay. Even if we have not killed anyone, even if the one who died was a terrorist, still to feel joy upon hearing the news of his death is Himsa Nandi Rodra Dhyan. In the same way, even if we have not lied, have not stolen, even if we have not earned money justly, yet if we feel delighted upon witnessing such acts, knowing of them, or receiving such associations, then our joyful reactions are respectively Mrsan Nandi, Chorya Nandi, and Parigra Anandi Rodra Dhyan, which can lead us directly to hell. We may be sitting quietly at home watching television. If we burst into laughter upon seeing a villain being beaten, if we laugh at a falsehood, or feel thrilled upon witnessing theft, or upon seeing stock prices rise, do we ever think that we might be committing a sin? We likely believe that we are just sitting peacefully, doing neither good nor harm to anyone. But we should know that we are engaging in violent meditation which could lead us to hell. Some people say, I am very soft hearted. When an emotional scene plays, I begin to cry. I cannot even hear I cannot even bear to see scenes of violence. They consider themselves to be deeply spiritual, but dear brother, this crying and lamenting is sorrowful meditation, which not only leads to rebirth in the animal realm, but can even be the cause of Nigod, the lowest form of life. Although the study and teaching of the Jinag Agam is a form of austerity known as spiritual contemplation of scriptures, Swadhyay, and scripture-related uh,
Agya
Arjuna
Vichai. Agya Vichai.
Agya Vichay, delusion, Apai Vichay, karma-related, Vipak Vichay, and universe-related, Sanstha Vichay, is known as righteous meditation, Dharma Dhyan. Still, when we are studying the Purans or engaged in Pratman Yog readings, and if we feel sorrow for those we consider dear when they experience misfortune, then that too indeed is painful meditation.
So continue.
In the same way, sorry, just a little bit down, one line down, please. In the same way, to feel delight upon the slaughter or destruction of those things we dislike, that too is Himsanandi Rodradhyan. Even rejoicing at the killing of Ravan or Duryodhan is but a form of violent meditation. The scriptures of the Pratman Yog are intended to inspire detachment, vairagya. Yet, due to our ignorance, after reading them, we respond with mental states of pain or violent tendencies. You might ask, in that case, would feeling sorrow at the loss of the Dev, Shastra or Guru also count as painful meditation, Artha Dhyan? Of course, you already know that such painful meditation arising from separation from what is dear or association with what is undesired can occur even to Digambar monks with Pavalingi up to the 6th Gunastan. For them, sorrow arising from the separation of. Sorry, could we scroll upwards, please? Separation of Tirthankars, their gurus, or their disciples alone would constitute painful meditation, for they hold none else as dear. Now comes the question, does such painful meditation in a Muni also become the cause for rebirth in subhuman Tiryanjgati? The answer is no, absolutely not. As we have already stated earlier, the painful and the violent meditation of the ignorant lead respectively to the subhuman and hellish realm, but not those of the realized souls, Nanis. It is clearly stated in the Jinagma that a realized soul possessing right belief does not go to hellish or subhuman realms. When people talk about the benefits of meditation, they say it reduces blood pressure, helps in diabetes, heals the nervous system, and so on. So many benefits are listed, and they declare, just try it for 6 months and your whole body will be transformed. You will run like a horse. But in Jain Dharma, the meditation that is extolled and praised, is its fruit liberation from the body or transformation of the body? Come on, brother. The body certainly changes at the time of death. The real transformation of the body takes place then. And by running like a horse, are we meant to turn from a human into a horse? Just think about it.
So last 3 pages what Darshit ji read were all examples of our day-to-day life situations where we are indulging in some kind of activities and we even don't know that what kind of karmas we are bounding. Okay. So all this depicts that every now and then as an householder, we are indulging in either painful meditation or violent meditation. And if it's a painful meditation, the karmic bondage will lead us to subhuman state. And if it is a violent meditation, the karmic bondage will lead us to hell. Okay. So we are binding such big karmas and even we don't know. Okay. So all these examples are very practical. You can see that many a times, every time when we file our returns, we see our net worth. So every year we see that our net worth is increasing, but never we fell. On the contrary, we are happy that our net worth is increasing, but we never consider it that this is again a cause of karmic bondage, which is going to lead us to Parigranandi. So that is hell. Okay. So this kind of like increasing stock prices, all these are forms of violent meditation. Okay. So painful meditation and violent meditation are both inauspicious kind of meditation and is a cause of karmic bondage, and it's not helping us in any way in the path of liberation. So these two are supposed to be renounced as soon as possible. Okay. So even if we have not killed anyone, but somebody else has done it, and we just be happy on hearing the news of his death, it's again a form of violent meditation. Okay. So similarly, we can relate all other events that we indulge in 5 kinds of scenes. So each activity of our scene binds this karmic bondage, which can lead us directly to hell. So Mrisanandi or Chauryanandi, Parigranandi are all these different forms of violent meditation which we indulge, and we even don't know that the resultant would be we will land up in hell. Okay. So this both the kind of bondage that we were talking about, that is for an ignorant soul, not a knowledgeable soul or not a learned soul. Okay. Because the learned soul does not bound karmas which lead them to a hellish being or a subhuman realms. Okay. It is only about the ignorant. Another misconception about meditation is it is undertaken for reducing blood pressures, it helps in diabetes, it heals the nervous systems and so on. So many benefits are listed, and they declare just try it for 6 months and your whole body will be transformed. You will run like a horse. So this meditation is not for that. Okay. The meditation that we depict in Jainism, which leads to liberation, and these 2 types of meditations are coming up for discussion. One is righteous meditation and the other one is a supreme absolute meditation. Okay. So these 2 meditations, the discussion is coming forth. So in our religion, Jain Dharma, the meditation that is being praised is not this kind of meditation which keeps our health good, nervous system good, blood pressure under control. No, it is that kind of meditation which leads us to liberation. Okay. So, so the body certainly changes at the time of death. The real transformation of the body takes place then. Okay. So all these our attempts to practice meditation for the purpose of keeping health good, avoiding some kind of diseases, getting cured, all these are bullshit. Okay. Meditation is absolutely connected to our eternal bliss, experiencing the bliss, and that is only possible when we practice this righteous meditation and the supreme meditation. So now the discussion moves on to righteous meditation. Okay. These 2 meditation, painful and the violent, they both are inauspicious meditation and leads to karmic bondage, which may lead us to subhuman state or the hellish state. Okay. So now righteous meditation, that is called dharma dhyan. So the religion begins from here, righteous meditation, dharma dhyan. So it starts at the 4th stage of spiritual development, and it only begins when we take our active consciousness upyog towards ourself. Okay. That active consciousness which was engrossed in the outside world from time immemorial, by constantly hammering these principles of religion and constantly studying the scriptures, that contemplation which was engaged in external objects, that will take a transformation and it will turn inwards. And when it turns inwards and connects to our soul, that is the time the writer's meditation begins. And that is the time the path of liberation also begins. So there are 4 types of writer's meditation. All these writer's meditation are generally speaking, it's a type of contemplation only. Okay. And all these 4 are supposed to be conventional writer's meditation. Then what is real writer's meditation? Real writer's meditation is just concentrating on the self, nothing else. So there are no ambiguity about that, that real meditation would be to concentrate on the self, to absorb in the self. Okay. So all these 4 types of writer's meditation that we are going to discuss are conventional meditation. Okay. Because all these are of contemplative nature. Okay. So we begin with this writer's meditation. Page number, it is 386. Priyanka, you can read. You could see, no?
Right. Yes, I zoom in on my phone. Righteous meditation. Contemplation in the context of scriptural command, Agya Vichar. Contemplation on causes of sinful actions and its consequences. Contemplation on fruition of karma, and contemplation on structure of universe is known as righteous meditation. The meditation performed in alignment with righteousness is righteous meditation. Righteousness or dharma means the intrinsic nature of a substance, and meditation means focused concentration. Thus, concentrated contemplation upon the intrinsic nature of reality is dharma dhyan. This dharma dhyan too is of 4 kinds. Scripture related, in accordance with the teachings of scriptures, deep and faithful contemplation is called Agya Vichar. Vikai. Dharma Dhyan.
Agya Vichai. Agya Vichai. Agya means we should follow whatever Jinendra Bhagwan, our Tirthankar, has advocated us. Okay. So we should always remain under his guidance, under his instructions. That is Agya. Agya Vichai. Okay.
Okay. Agya Vichar. Dharma Dhyan. There are many truths that cannot be known directly. For example, the statement, there are infinite living beings in underground roots like tuberous plants. Such conclusions can only be drawn on the basis of Jinagam, because those beings are so subtle that they cannot be perceived directly by the senses. Second is delusion related Apai Vichai. Vikai. Since false belief, false knowledge, and false conduct are the causes of worldly bondage, they are considered obstacles contrary to liberation. Intense reflection on how an ignorant being may protect oneself from such downfall is named Apai Vikai, Dharma Dhyan.
Apai Vichai.
Vichai. So continue reading.
Yes, yes.
So scroll down, please.
Okay, sorry.
Another name for this dharma dhyan is upay vichai, because it involves deep concentration of the means to attain liberation. Specifically, reflection on right belief, knowledge, and conduct are the means to liberation. The profound contemplation of fundamental truths, that is tattva vichar, in the context of both false belief, mithyatva, etc., and the right vision, knowledge, and conduct, is what constitutes the delusion-related apay vichai or means-related upay vichai type of righteous meditation. Third, karma-related vipak vichai. Reflection upon the fruition of karmas is named vipak vichai, dharma dhyan. Which karma yields its results when, what consequences it brings. Such deep meditation, contemplation about all aspects of karma falls under this vipak vichai form of righteous meditation. Fourth, universe related samasthana vichai. What is the structure of the universe as described in the Janagam? Reflecting upon the arrangement of upper world, urdhvalok, lower world, adholok, and middle world, madhyalok. That is, the geographical cosmology of Jain philosophy constitutes the samasthana vichai dharma dhyan. According to the knowledge derived from Janagam, all these modes of contemplation are psychic in nature, and thus are considered conventional righteous meditation. Vyavhar dharma dhyan. The real righteous meditation or nishchay dharma dhyan is one, pointed concentration on oneself, achieved by knowing and perceiving the divine self that has been realized through grace of the teachings of Jina. That is Deshana Labdhi. One must deeply reflect upon the following. Supreme meditation. Shukla Dhyan is not possible for anyone in this fifth era, nor for householders even in the fourth era, and sorrowful meditation and violent meditation are not to be engaged in. Thus, only righteous meditation remains, and this alone is feasible in the fifth era, even for knowledgeable householders with right belief. Righteous meditation is not possible for those with false belief or mithya drishti. Nowadays, whenever people speak of meditation, these four types of righteous meditation, such as Agya Vichai and the others, are not even mentioned, nor is attention paid to the fact that it can only occur in those with the right belief. If we reflect upon the subject matter of these four types of righteous meditation, one fact becomes clear. Without the study of Janagam, righteous meditation is simply not possible. Without knowing the Jina Agya, how can there be Agya Vichai Dharma Dhyan? Without understanding the path of liberation, composed of right belief, right knowledge, and right conduct, how can Apay Vichai Dharma Dhyan take place? Similarly, without studying the Karuna Niyog texts that describe the doctrine of karma and the structure of the three worlds, that is Trilok, how can there be Vipak Vichai and Samasthana Vichai Dharma Dhyan?
Last paragraph.
Are those who teach meditation even familiar with these subject matters of Janagam? And even if they are, do they guide the meditation seekers to study these topics? If not, then what kind of righteous meditation or dharma dhyan is it really?
Okay. So we saw four kinds of righteous meditation. Okay. So the first one is Agya Vichai. Agya means listening to the Jinendra Bhagwan's instructions. Okay. And take action accordingly. So which exposition we are talking about? Among the four exposition, which exposition this would be? Can anyone guess? Dravyan Yog, Charnan Yog, Karnan Yog, and Pratman Yog.
Karnan Yog.
Karu-
Dravya.
Dravyan Yog.
Dravya.
Dravyan Yog. Anyone else apart from this? So this is Charnan Yog because you are following the instructions of Tirthankars. Okay. So when we follow, when we do any action according to the instructions given by our Lord, it is Charnan Yoga only, because Charnan Yoga speaks of the actions taken by an householder and a monk. Okay, so this is Charnan Yoga. Then the next one, Apai Vichay, delusion related. So Apai Vichay and Upai Vichay, these are the same. They are two different names. So well, Apai Vichay means how to get rid of false belief. Okay. So this is one part, and the other part is Upai Vichay. What is the solution? So which exposition would you consider this as? Apai Vichay and Upai Vichay.
Dravyan Yog.
Yes, Dravyan Yoga, right. Okay. So this is where we are going to practice discriminative knowledge. This is where we are going to understand the 7 fundamentals. This is where we are going to see the independent nature of each substance, attributes, and modification. So all these forms a part of Dravyan Yoga. And here specially, we will be contemplating on how to practice this discriminative knowledge. Now moving on to the third one, karma related vipak vichay. Vipak means the fruition. Okay. What karmas we have bounded earlier that are coming into fruition. And when they come into fruition and you contemplate on those, it's called vipak vichay. Okay. Vipak is fruition. So which exposition would this be? Now this one everyone knows. Karnan Yoga, right? Because it's all karma related. What kind of karma will yield what kind of result and its consequences, and when that karmas will come into rise, what are the problems that a soul is going to face. All these are part of this Vipak Vichay Dharma Dhyan. It helps us to become aware. Whatever we do, we should be aware that if we take this kind of actions, then this kind of karmic bondage will happen. And when those karmic bondage will come into fruition, the soul will suffer from such and such conditions. So understanding all these helps us to be aware of what we are manifesting at what point of time. Okay. So this is a very good study to prevent us from binding such sorrowful karmas or inauspicious karmas. The last one is universe related, Sansthan Vichay. So there we discuss about upper world, middle world, lower world, all the 7 types of hell, and then heaven, 14 types of heaven, 16 types of heaven. So all these are discussed here. So which exposition we are talking about? Any guesses? Yeah, Priyanka?
Dravya.
Karnan Yog.
Yes, Karnan Yoga, universal related. Okay. So when we discuss about 3 worlds and all, these are Karnan Yoga. So last 2 are related to Karnan Yoga, and the first one was Charnan Yoga. Second one was Dravyanu Yoga. Now all these 4 are conventional righteous meditation. So then what is the real? So real is just concentrating this line here. The real righteous meditation, Nischay Dharma Dhyan, is one pointed concentration on oneself. One pointed concentration on oneself, achieved by knowing and perceiving the divine self that has been realized through the grace of the teachings of Jindeshna. Okay, so this is the real meditation. All else falls into the category of conventional writer's meditation. Okay, so now whatever meditation is practiced, there someone says that you concentrate on your breathing, then someone would say you concentrated on your head, and some kundli and all different types of meditations are being performed all over the world, and they even don't know what is the true writer's meditation. Okay, so there is so much of ignorance here and there everywhere. So in this time, to get access to this kind of instructions is very rare, and we are so fortunate to have all this in our life. So now the our endeavor should be to understand these principles very nicely and then apply in our day-to-day life, practice discriminative knowledge, and try to be happy in all situations. And if you are able to do that, then you are a winner and soon you will get liberated. Okay. So without understanding the path of liberation, which is composed of right belief, right knowledge, and right conduct, how can apai vichai dharma dhyan takes place? Okay, so all this is only possible when you do swadhyay, religious study. Okay, so that is very important, and with swadhyay you'll be able to understand the nature of each things, and then you will also realize where to focus on. Okay, what is worth renouncing, what is worth adapting, what is worth taking shelter in, what is worth manifesting. All these clarities you will have once you understand all this concept very clearly. Okay, so the meditation that is prevailing in the universe is not the meditation that Jainism teaches us. Jainism teaches us only this kind of meditation where we get into the path of liberation and ultimately gets liberated. Okay. So all these three expositions that we discussed, Charanan Yoga, Dravyan Yoga, and the Karnan Yoga, all these are going to help us in understanding the right meditation and ultimately practicing the right meditation. Okay, so this is what meditation as per Jainism. Now the last of the four meditation, that is supreme meditation, Sukla Dhyan. So this is only possible for those souls who have attained the 8th stage of spiritual development. Okay, even a monk who is in the 6th and 7th stage, he is not able to indulge in this kind of supreme meditation, because that starts at 8th, and now in this 5th era nobody can achieve 8th. Okay, so at most we can go is up to 7th. 7th has got two parts, Swasthan Apramat and Satisai Apramat. Okay, Swasthan Apramat is the threshold limit for a human being of a 5th era. They cannot go beyond that. The other part of this is 7th stage. Yeah, other part of the 7th stage is Satishay Apramat. So one who reaches there will automatically get into the 8th stage. Okay, so that is also not possible right now. So what we have is 6th and 7th maximum you can go. So this supreme meditation is not applicable to the souls who are presently residing here. Okay, so in that context we should understand this supreme meditation. Okay, now let's read through this supreme meditation, and Subha, you read.
Supreme meditation, Sukla Dhyan. Now, finally, the discussion of supreme meditation, Sukla Dhyan, becomes relevant. So, first, let us clarify who attains supreme meditation, that is, who are its possessors. The related aphorism are as follows. The first two types of supreme meditation belong to the omniscience of scripture, Shuddha Kevalis.
So 1 minute. This Srut Kevli, that means omniscience of scripture, you know. So this is not the Kevli, that omniscient
Bhagwan.
being who is in the 13th stage. No, these are Srut Kevli. So Srut Kevli have two conditions to be met. First of all, they should be a right believer. The second is they should have knowledge of Dwad Sang, you know, Dwad Sang, you know, the whole universe of knowledge that they should have. Okay, Dwad Sang. So even a soul in the fourth stage could be a Shrut Kevli, because in the celestial beings, okay, that Sarvat Siddhi Dev, they have this knowledge of Dwad Sang, okay, and they are also right believer. So they have this kind of what do you call? What we were discussing? Srut Kevli. Okay. So they are considered as Srut Kevli. So Srut Kevli are those persons who have right belief, and the second part is they should possess Dwad Shang. So that is, Dwad is 12 angs of knowledge, you know. So that is the complete knowledge of Jainism. So these two conditions are met. So they are Srut Kevli, and they are eligible for the first two types of meditation. Okay. So first two types goes up from eighth stage. It starts from 8th stage and then it goes on to 11. Okay. 8 to 11. So I also shared one chart in Hindi about this Sukla Dhyan that you can look at, and you can just see the stages of spiritual development. So the first one is 8 to 11. The second one is 12th. Okay. So that was my mistake. So first one was 8 to 11 and the second one was 12th. But nevertheless, they both are Srut Kevli. And the next two divisions are applicable only to omniscience being who are in the 13th stage and above. Okay. So now continue, Subha.
By the inclusion of the word cha in the aphorism, righteous meditation is also implied. That is, Shuddh Kevalis are also endowed with righteous meditation. The last two types of supreme meditation belong respectively to the embodied omniscient being, Samyog Kevali, and the disembodied omniscient being, Ayog Kevali. Before ascending the ladder of Gunasthan, one engages in righteous meditation. Upon ascending, one then gradually enters the first two stages of supreme meditation, Sukla Dhyan. The supreme meditation experienced by Kevalis and Shuddha Kevalis is exclusively of the pure nature of pure and undistracted engagement of the soul, Shuddha Upayog. It is well understood that the root cause of dissociation of karmas, nirjara, or increasing the purification of the soul is pure awareness, Shuddha Upayog, and pure transformation of the soul, Shuddha Pariniti. At this point, one might raise the following question. The sixth Gunasthan is primarily characterized by virtuous or auspicious engagement of the soul, Shuddhupayog. There, infinite fold dissociation of karmas occurs. Is this then brought about merely by Shuddhupayog, since Shuddhupayog is not present there? The answer is no, this is not the case. The infinite-fold dissociation of karmas that occurs in the sixth gunasthan is not due to the presence of Shuddha Upayog, but rather due to the absence of fourfold intense passions, kashais. That is, it arises from purified transformation of the soul, Suddha Pariniti.
So there are two things. One is Shuddha Parinati and one is Shuddha Upyog. Okay. So Shuddha Upyog is pure awareness. Okay. Pure awareness is Shuddha Upyog. So Shuddha Upyog is a state where you are experiencing the self, where you are engrossed in the self. So that is Shuddha Upyog. Okay. And Shuddh Pariniti is what? Shuddh Pariniti is the level that you have attained, which is always maintained. That is called Shuddh Parinati. Okay. So even the Upyog may get involved in some sensual pleasures, but the amount of passionlessness that has been manifested, that remains always there. Even when you are engaged in sensual pleasures, even an enlightened soul who is engaged in the sensual pleasures in the fourth stage and fifth stage, at that point of time, his Shuddha Parinati, okay, the level of passionlessness, the level of detachment that they have achieved, that remains there, that is maintained. Okay. And with that only, there is a dissociation of bondage happening all the time. Okay. So there is a difference between Shuddhopyog and Shuddha Parinati. Okay. Shuddha Parinati is purified transformation of the soul. Okay. So the level of purity that you have manifested, that always remains, and that is called Shuddha Parinati. And Shuddhopyog is a situation where you are manifesting pure sentiments. Okay. So this difference you should always understand. Otherwise, if you are not able to understand this, then you will get confused. Okay. Everyone understood Shuddhopyog and Shuddha Parinati?
An example, sir, please.
So in a fourth stage, I'll give an example of fourth stage. Say Bharat Chakravarti. Okay. So Bharat Chakravarti has renounced which level of passions?
So I don't know.
First quadruplet, Ananta Anubandhi Kashai. Okay. Because he has manifested right belief. So when the delusion goes away, the first quadruplet level of passions goes away. Okay. The passions which were preventing the right belief, that Anantanubandhi Kashai, that has gone, that level has gone. And that much purity has been manifested. Okay. So to the extent the purity is manifested, to the same extent the impurity has been destroyed. Okay. So this goes in hand. The beginning of the purity, and then gradually increase of that purity, and then complete purity. Okay. So origin of purity is stoppage element. Then increasing of that purity is dissociation of bondage element. And then complete manifestation of purity is liberation. Okay. So this Shuddhopyog and Shuddh Parinati, that you should understand. Okay. So the sixth Gunasthan is primarily characterized by virtuous or auspicious engagement of the soul, Shubho Upyog. Okay. So when the monks are not able to remain in themselves, they come out, and at that point of time they indulge in writing scriptures, they indulge in preachings to others, they go to take the alms. All these activities are possible in the sixth stage. But when they are in the seventh stage, they are manifesting Shuddhopyog all the time. Okay. So when they are in the seventh stage, It's a deep introspective meditation stage. Okay, they are engrossed in the self. And when they come out of that meditation, they are in the sixth stage. Okay, so when they are in the sixth stage, the level of purity that they have achieved, like a true monk would have renounced 3 levels of passions. Okay, Anantanubandhi, Apratyakyan, and Pratyakyan. So, right belief preventing passion, vows preventing passions, and then partial woe preventing passion, and then complete woes preventing passion. Okay, so these 3 levels are destroyed. So that much purity that has been manifested, that is called Shuddha Parinati. Okay, that is called Shuddha Parinati. And of course, the active consciousness is now, it keeps on moving from 6 to 7, 7 to 6, that goes on. Okay, so the sixth gunasthan is primarily characterized by virtuous or auspicious engagement of the soul. Their infinite fold dissociation of karma occurs. So how this infinite fold dissociation of karma is occurring? Because of that Shuddha Parinati. Okay, right now there is no Shuddhopyog, there is Subhopyog. They are into auspicious sentiments now. But the level of purity that they have already manifested, that remains maintained, and with that happens dissociation of bondage all the time. Okay, their infinite fold dissociation of karmas occur. Is this then brought about merely by Shubhopyog, since Shuddhopyog is not present there? Okay, so this is the question. So Shubhopyog cannot never lead to Shuddhopyog. Okay, so the answer is no, this is not the case. The infinite fold dissociation of karmas that occurs in the sixth gunasthan is not due to the presence of Shubhopyog. Okay, Shubhopyog is a cause of bondage, but rather due to the absence of the fourfold intense passions, kashais. Okay, fourfold intense passion, that is Anantanubandhi Kashai. Okay, so to the extent the Anantanubandhi Kashai has gone, to that extent the internal purity has been manifested, and with that internal purity that is manifested, and that is called Shuddh Upyog. Then the infinite fold dissociation of karma that occur in the sixth gunasthan is not due to the presence of Shubhopyog, but rather due to the absence of the fourfold intense passions, Anantanubandhi Kashai. That is, it arises from purified transformation of the soul, that is Shuddha Parinati. So now we are going to discuss this different types of supreme meditation, Sukla Dhyan. There are 4 subdivisions. Okay, so that we are going to discuss. We can just first read and then we will discuss. So
Can I ask a question, sir?
yes.
So for Shuddhopyog, I got it. But then for Shuddha Prakriti,
Parinati,
what is
Shuddha Parinati.
so what is then the difference between Shuddha Pariniti and Shuddhopyog? Because Shuddhopyog is pure manifestation.
Right.
And Shuddha Parinati is also nature, no, sir, in Hindi?
No. So what happens, difference is here, that Shuddha Parinati is a state where you are into auspicious sentiments, not pure sentiments. So present business is in auspicious sentiment. Okay, but the level of passions that you have already eliminated, to that extent the purity is there, and with that purity the dissociation of bondage is happening all the time. Okay, so active consciousness is engaged in auspicious sentiment, but at the same time whatever purity that you have already maintained, with that the dissociation of bondage is happening all the time. So Shuddh Parinati you understood? Shuddh Parinati and Shuddhopyog. Shuddhopyog is a state where you are realizing the self.
That
Atmanubhuti.
comes after sixth.
Right?
That comes after sixth Gunasthan, right, sir?
No. It starts from fourth.
It starts from fourth Gunasthan.
Yes.
And sir, this
Self-realization. It's a stage of self-realization where you are experiencing the self. So that starts at fourth. Okay. Then it is also there in the fifth. It is also there in the seventh. All these are Shuddhopyog state. Okay. But Shuddh Parinati. Yeah, you tell me what is Shuddh Parinati then?
And Shuddha Parinati, sir, then is it only for the fourth Gunasthan?
No, it starts from fourth. It will be there in the fifth also. It will be there in the seventh also. It will be there in the sixth also. Although in the sixth you are into auspicious sentiments, but still that internal purity that you have already achieved, that is being maintained, and that is Shuddh Parinati.
Okay,
So
sir.
could I add to that
Yes,
or
yes,
question
yeah.
that further? So when you talk of Shuddh Upyog, Shuddh Upyog is when the transformation has not happened yet.
What
But
transformation?
the transformation of the soul.
Means it has not got enlightened?
So if you reach fourth Gunastan, Samyak Darshan has already happened, right?
Yes.
Because you have right belief.
Right.
So when you talk of, I'm trying to differentiate the.
So first, Shuddhopyog is very simple. Shuddhopyog is a state where your active consciousness is engaged in the self. Atmanubhuti dasha, Atmanubhav dasha, Swanubhuti. Okay. So now you are realizing yourself. So Shuddhopyog is clear?
Yes, sir.
Right.
So at that time you are into pure active consciousness, Shuddhopyog. Okay. Now the other part is Shuddha Parinati. So Shuddha Parinati is the level of passions that you have renounced, and in exchange you have manifested passionlessness. The amount of passionlessness that you have manifested is the Shuddha Parinati, and here your active consciousness is engaged in auspicious sentiment. So the basic difference is in Shuddhopyog, your active consciousness is engaged in the self, and here the active consciousness is engaged in the auspicious sentiment. This is the fundamental difference between Shuddhopyog and Shuddha Parinati. Shuddhopyog happens sometimes, okay, but Shuddha Parinati is maintained all the time.
Okay, sir. So, sir, then auspicious sentiment, when the active consciousness is in the auspicious sentiment, will that be Sata Vediniya?
That will be?
Will that be Sata Vediniya?
No.
Because that is
when your active consciousness is engaged in an auspicious sentiment, at that point of time also, the internal purity that you have manifested, it's still continuing, no? That is called Shuddh Parinati. That is continuity of Shuddh Parinati. Shuddh Parinati is called Shuddh Parinati. There is no Sata Vednya Karma is the worldly comforts, those are worldly comforts. Here we are looking at a situation where your active consciousness is engaged in auspicious sentiment, and the purity that you have already achieved, that is being maintained. That is called Shuddha Parinati.
So is that why they're saying Shuddh Parinati instead of calling it Subh Parinati? Is that the reason? Because that maintenance is there.
Subha Parinati is entirely different. It is an auspicious sentiment. Shuddha Parinati is not an auspicious sentiment. It is a pure sentiment, but it is not where the active consciousness is engaged right now. It is the earlier thing that you have renounced the level of passions that is being maintained, that is Shuddha Parinati. If your active consciousness is also concentrated in the self, then it becomes Shuddhopyog. So Shuddhopyog happens sometime, but Shuddha Parinati is maintained all the time.
So, sir, can we say that because the dissociation of the passions has happened or is happening,
Right.
the person is is feeling like they're not feeling those passions of, say, anger, pride,
Right.
and
To
all
that
those things.
to that level, it is not there.
So that's why they are like feeling content.
Yes,
But
all the time they are enjoying all the time. Even their active consciousness may be engaged in auspicious or inauspicious sentiments, but the level of purity that you have maintained is always dissociation of bondage is always happening because of that. Okay. So
And that is what's allowing them to move ahead in the Gunastan.
yes,
Actually.
yes, definitely.
and they experience Shuddhopyog for longer periods of time because that brings them closer to self.
So generally, as you move ahead in the stages of spiritual development, the duration of the Sudhopyog increases. You are able to concentrate more as you progress in the spiritual stages.
So
So
one
now,
last, so sorry.
so now
Last
you
question.
explain, Priyanka, you explain what is Shuddhopyog, pure awareness, and what is Shuddha Parinati. You tell me the difference.
Okay. Shuddh, Shuddhopyog is the state where the soul is engrossed in itself, in the
Very
pure,
good. Yes. That means pure active consciousness is connected to the
pure soul. It's like it is knowing
yes.
true nature. So the active consciousness is knowing its true nature. Upyog, that is
Yes.
active consciousness,
Yes.
is in Shuddh, in pure state.
Yes.
So that is Shuddh Upyog.
Right.
Shuddh Pariniti is when the active consciousness is in the auspicious state.
Or maybe inauspicious also. At lower stages, at fourth and fifth stage, there will be always inauspicious coming into their life also. Going for business, getting married, all these are inauspicious. So they are engaged there. Active consciousness is engaged in your auspicious or inauspicious sentiment. It could be anything. And at that point of time, what is there you tell? Shuddha Parinati?
Yeah. So Shuddha Parinati is they can be engaged in auspicious, inauspicious, but they mostly stay in the would it be right to say, sir, like they stay unaffected, but they are not still in the Shuddhopyog, like they are still
No.
not
Yeah,
experiencing
they
self.
are not in Shuddhopyog, that is true. But not affected, you cannot say, because their active consciousness is now involved there. Okay. But the level of passions that they have already renounced, that is
Yeah,
being maintained.
that's been maintained. Yeah, they don't get
So,
super excited, they don't get super
if
angry.
he has manifested fourth stage, so
Yeah.
that level of purity is maintained. Okay.
Okay.
Active consciousness is engaged in either auspicious or inauspicious sentiment, but their level of uh, the passions that they have denounced, that much purity is maintained. That is called Shuddha Parinati.
So in that, sir, they will not acquire more bondages.
No, that is a
So
cause of dissociation of bondage. That Shuddha Parinati that is being maintained is a cause of dissociation of bondage. It is not a
okay.
cause of new bondage, because it is already pure sentiments, no?
Yeah, okay. And can we also say then, sir, it is a stoppage of influx?
Yeah, it is a stoppage of influx, and on the contrary, it is a dissociation of bondage.
Dissociation of bondage also.
Yes, one step ahead. First comes the stoppage and then dissociation. So he is in a dissociation stage now. Okay. Although his active consciousness is engaged in either auspicious or inauspicious sentiments, but whatever he has achieved, that is being maintained, that is called Shuddha Parinati.
Okay. And so we can probably even say then Shuddha Parinati soul is Samyak Drashti.
So Samyak Drishti, that means his level is always maintained, no?
Yeah, so because now they have that tattva which are in them, or tattva like what do you say? The right knowledge.
So they have already realized themselves, and
Yeah.
now their active consciousness is not engaged in the self, but nevertheless, because of their past experience, their level of passions that they have renounced is being maintained. That's all.
Okay.
And that is a cause of dissociation of bondage.
It's a cause of association. Okay.
Darshit, you would like to repeat?
Yeah, so Sudopyog is your pure, no, it's active consciousness that is going on continuously.
Where it is going? Auspicious,
In your
inauspicious,
pure,
or in
in
pure
it's
soul?
in the pure soul.
Yes, now you have completed.
Yeah, but this Sud Parinati is due to this Shudupyog, and it is more like a constant line that is just there.
Yes.
As even if your dispositions are
Okay.
meritorious or demeritorious.
Okay.
So even though there is up and
So
down happening,
your active consciousness is engaged in either merit or demerits. Okay.
yes. But because you already had the Shudopyog before that,
Yes. Yes.
this Shud Parinati is maintained.
Yes. 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 Subha, you want to repeat?
G, I don't have that much clarity, right?
Okay.
On should just give me a time, a day. I'll just go through it again. And
Okay. Okay. No problem.
Rajesh sir, what I was thinking is that maybe we can read this again and try and absorb it and understand it, and then if we can have maybe in the next class 15 minutes just to come back to
No
it.
problem. No problem. So I'm
should
giving you homework. You understand this. Okay.
should one more thing. Will
Yes.
Shuddh Parinidhi will lead to Shuddha Upayog?
No.
Not necessary.
No. See, Shuddha Parinati is the level of
State of
passions
mind.
that you have renounced, and that is
Okay.
being maintained. That's all.
Okay.
Okay. Suddhopyog is when you are in the self-realization state.
Okay.
Now, after self-realization state happens, you are not all the time engrossed in your soul, right? In the fourth stage, you will go to do business, you will go to fight war, like Bharat Chakravarti. He has got so many responsibilities. So, his active consciousness is not involved in the self. His active consciousness is involved in all these kind of sensual pleasures and other activities. But the amount of passionlessness that has been manifested, it is still being maintained, and that is called Shuddha Parinati. Okay. Pure transformation of the soul. In the English, they have named Shuddha Parinati as pure transformation of the soul. Okay. And Shuddhopyog is pure awareness or deep introspective
Ji, you are saying
meditation.
that Bharat Chakravarti, after attaining right faith, right, as he has lost some of his, as he has destroyed some of the Kashai,
Yes.
he is Shuddha Pariniti.
Yes, that is
But Shuddha Pariniti, if a Shuddha Pariniti person, right, is deeply involved himself in the soul, or is then he will become Shuddhopayog.
Yeah, then it is Suddhopyog. Then Suddhopyog is also there, and Shuddha Parinati is also there.
Yeah.
Suddhopyog and Shuddha Parinati exist simultaneously, but it can also happen that Shuddha Parinati is maintained, Shuddhopyog is not there.
Okay. Yeah, Ji.
Okay.
Thank
So
you.
I leave it to this, and we will again discuss this in the next class, and then begin from page number 389. Types of supreme meditations. Okay. So we have completed up to page number 388, and that is your homework. Okay. Okay. So a good discussion. At least if you are able to understand this, then you will have lot of clarities, because active consciousness engaged in sensual pleasures, simultaneously still dissociation of bondage is happening. So this is something, it's not easy to digest, how can it be possible? So there are words in Sem6 where say Gyani ke bhog nirjara ke hetu. Even if an enlightened soul is engaged in sensual pleasures, still he is doing dissociation of bondage. Now this is something, it's hard to digest, okay, but that is the fact, and that also we will discuss next time. Okay.
So
Till
Rajesh
then,
sir,
yeah,
sorry, carry on.
continue.
So you mentioned Ananta Bandi Kashai,
Right.
right? So at this point, is it, why would you not say Apratyakan, just Ananta Bandi?
Because so fourth stage Anantanubandhi has gone. If he is in the fifth stage, then Apratyakan has also gone. So Shuddh Parinati is of the level of absence of two levels of passions.
I think he is saying that right faith can be achieved by destroying Anantanubandhi Kasha. That's the reason he is saying like that.
So right faith though is that. Yeah.
No, what I meant was, because of this discussion we're having, at this particular discussion, say now we are in someone's in the fourth stage.
Right.
That fourth stage, is it Ananta Bandi Kashai, Pratyakhan or Apratyakhan? All three.
No, fourth stage only first level has gone. Now what is
First
this
level.
first level?
Ananta Bandi.
Anantanubandhi. And Anantanubandhi, I have sent the English names. Right belief preventing passion, in bracket causing infinite worldly existence. Now, so this first level has gone. So to that extent, there is a passionlessness that has manifested.
Yes.
And that passionlessness is Shuddha Parinati. Now, somebody consider who is in the fifth stage of spiritual development. So, he has renounced the first two levels, okay? The right belief preventing passion level and the partial vow preventing passions. So, these two has gone, right? So, his Shuddh Parinati will be to that extent. Somebody who has renounced all the three levels, first three levels, so they are only having fourth level, Sanjvalan Kasha is present. So along with that, the Shuddh Parinti would be of that nature. Okay. So I think now it is clear, but still we will again take up the next class, and you read again and again this last 3-4 paragraphs, and you will be able to understand. Okay. निज निधि निज में बताई, यह अनंत उपकार है उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना सत बार है, उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना सत बार है. 9 times नमोकार मंत्र. बोलो दात संगी जिनवाणी माता की जय.